Chevrolet made big news when it committed to making a mid-engine Corvette. The 8th generation, or C8, is a big departure from Vettes of the past. And there's good reason for that. Chevrolet believes it pushed the formula of front-engine rear drive to its performance limit. Is that truly the case? And does the mid-engine formula truly make for a better Vette? Let's find out. Now visually there are some big pluses and a handful of minuses, so let's start with the negatives first. The rear end needs some work. The squared off exhaust outlets are goofy and the whole tail here looks squashed and oddly proportioned. Now viewed from the side or in a wide 3/4 profile, things improve a bit, but there's still comparisons you could make to other cars. There's a dash of Ferrari in here, but maybe not executed as well. And then I think if you squint, you can also see some Acura NSX. Yet you can still look at this and tell that it's a Corvette, and that's important. The nose, despite lacking the grunt generator, speaks Corvette design language. Move inside and the story starts to get a bit better because the C8 takes things where the C7 started to go, and that's to a better interior experience on a Corvette. Things are more driver focused, but also even more refined compared to the last gen car. At first we thought the closed off cabin and interesting button placement would be goofy, but when you sit in the car, it actually works quite well. And this specific Corvette that we're testing is fitted with the 2LT package. That means it gets a couple extra creature comforts. The seats are heated and ventilated and have power adjustable lumbar support. There's a 14-speaker Bose audio system. There's a head-up display, and this car has the performance data and video recorder. Chevy worked hard to make its interiors better, and you can easily see that in the C7. It's even better now here on the C8. The most appealing part of any Corvette is never the interior anyway, it's the engine. And this one right here is a 6.2-liter V8. This is a car fitted with the Z51 package, which every Stingray shopper should opt for, as it moves horsepower up a bit to 495. Torque is 470 pound-feet. And you also get upgraded brakes, suspension, exhaust, a revised rear axle ratio, an electronic limited slip diff, and a beefier cooling system. And Chevy pairs that 6.2-liter V8 with an 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox that sends power to the rear wheels. So the looks of the C8 promise an engaging dynamic driving experience, and it nearly delivers on it. Turn-in is nice and sharp, and handling is light. That's because there's a lot of weight taken off the nose of this thing, but then there's occasional moments of understeer that you wouldn't expect to find. I also think the engine is far too quiet. It's a Corvette, and I want it to be loud. There's a button to open up the exhaust and let it bark a bit more, but it never delivers what I'm after. It only starts to show some menace when you truly push the throttle to the floor. Let's see what that sounds like now. So when you mat it, it's there. The noise is there. The 6.2-liter wakes up, but everywhere else it's quiet. And for a lot of people, that could be a very good thing, but I want a bit more manic energy in my Corvette. The gearbox though, it shifts nice and quickly. The brakes feel fantastic, and the suspension provides a really nice ride. The square steering wheel though is a bit on the gimmicky side. I don't love that. I'm not saying a steering wheel needs to be round, but I think this is just square for the sake of being square, which in fact makes it square. This thing does make a great daily driver as far as sports cars go. The seats are comfortable, the ride is comfortable. I mean, it looks cool. There's always a look back factor to it as well, but I'm generally underwhelmed by it, and I think that's a bit of a problem. When this thing lands, you need to be like, oh my God, new direction, 8th gen Corvette, here we go. And that hasn't happened for me. It's not bad, and in fact, it's a great starting point for the rest of the family. So all this one does, the Stingray, it leaves me wanting to learn more about what's to come with respect to this vehicle. Is it fun behind the wheel? Yeah, of course it is. It's still a Vette. It's an evolution of the Corvette. Is it everything I'd hoped for? It's close. But one of the best parts about the Corvette is its price. That's because the Corvette Stingray here starts at $66,000. If you added the Z51 performance package for $5K, and you should, you have a mid-engine sports car that can run from 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, and you have it for well under $100,000. Hell, you have it for under $80,000. This is almost a supercar based on its performance numbers and styling, and it's not even six figures. That is wild. Now this one, as tested, is just under $85K. That 2LT package cost around $6,800. It's fitted with the front lift nose system, which is $1,495, and I think that should just be standard on all the models because you're gonna want to have that. Even then, at nearly 85 grand, this competes with far more expensive sports cars. The C8 is a good starting place for the Vette. Do I want to see more out of it? Of course, more noise, more power, and maybe a little bit more refinement on the exterior styling bits. But like I said, it's a great place to start, and I think the mid-engine platform is going to suit this car well, especially as we get more performance variants out of it. What's a Grand Sport going to look like? What's a Z06, a ZR1, and even maybe a Zora version going to look like? A potential hypothetical 1,000 horsepower hybrid mid-engine Corvette could be absolutely crazy, especially when this one can already do what it does, and I'm merely okay with it. I have very high hopes for the future of the Vette, starting with the car that I find pretty good.